Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you, first of all, for spending some time with us this evening as we talk about social media tools for small businesses. As a quick introduction, my name is Selena Archer, and I am wearing two hats tonight. One is for Junior Achievement Bahamas and the Alum, and the other is for my Inc. So I will be presenting the social media tools for your small business that you can use. I will ask that everyone remain muted during the presentation. However, because it's a small group of us, we can get a little interactive as we speak. So you can unmute and ask questions during the presentation. Again, we have a very intimate group, so I think that will be perfectly fine. And without further ado, what I will do is get started. One of the things Junior Achievement Bahamas wants you guys to know is that this year, all donations from the alum will be going toward funding scholarships. So if you want to pop on to the jabahamas.org website, what you can do is click the donate button to learn more about how it is that you can join and donate to these scholarships that will again be funding the achievers for 2021-22 and their further education. And again, my name is Selena Archer, and I will be talking about social media tools for small businesses. I know we had someone just join. So just as housekeeping, please keep the mics muted until we again, it's a small crowd, so let me rephrase. Please keep your mics muted, and if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to unmute and ask. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about who my Inc. is, my experience in the business. We're going to look at some social media platforms, and I picked up some stats for you guys that you will find interesting. I think this is going to help you choose the platforms that you are most comfortable with in advertising your businesses. And also we have some content creation food for thought. And then we're going to look into some of those content creation tools, how to schedule your posts, and how to review your social performance, because that's very important as well. And this is just a quote that I really like. The best marketing doesn't feel like marketing, by Tom Fishburne. And that's going to be really important as we look at how it is that we create content for our social channels. So who are we? So my Inc. first started about, I want to say 5 years ago now. And what we did was we saw that there was a need for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and startups when it came to marketing support. And so over the years, we've worked with the clients that you see on the screen. We like to provide targeted solutions, especially with small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs. Budgets are extremely tight. So what we like to do is come up with plans that will maximize the budget spends and get you where it is that you need to be seen. So I have personally 20 plus years in the business. I am not going to date myself, but yes, a vast amount of experience in working in both agency environments as well as corporate Bahamas, and then also in Ireland. And this is just a list of some of the things that we do. So we create marketing strategies, we do promotional design for campaigns, and we execute them. We have advertising concepts and executions. We also ghostwrite, script writing for all media, so radio, TV, ads, press releases, press events, digital strategies and implementation, social media marketing, social media training. So if you are a business that would like some training, we also offer that. Content creation for social media. And I want you guys to stick around till the end of the presentation, because I'm going to tell you about something very special that we are going to be doing for businesses, especially small to medium businesses, entrepreneurs, and startups. We also do social animations and videos. We do marketing consultations, and just as a note, they are free for your first time. So if you do want to get a marketing consultation, Maite, who is working along with me tonight, will be putting links in the chat so that you will be able to contact us. And we also do promotional event planning. Again, just a small little bit about marketing, my marketing. So what exactly is social media? And again, guys, feel free to unmute and ask questions as we go through this presentation. It is still small enough a group that we can do that and really have a great interactive experience. So the term social media refers to a computer-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through virtual networks and communities. Now, the reason that I have made in bold ideas, thoughts, and information is because, again, I want you guys to start thinking about how it is that you are creating social content for your pages. Are they sharing a thought, an idea, or information? And so again, what I've done is I've just pulled together some stats. And the reason that I did this particular exercise is that so we know what the different platforms look like, who's on them, what are people doing. And from that, you can basically pick and choose where it is that you want to be based on who it is that you want to reach. So Facebook, by far the largest social network, has 2.74 billion monthly active users. It reaches 59% of the world's social networking population, and it is the third most visited website. The only two that outrank Facebook is YouTube and Google. So again, this goes back into kind of demographics. So 32.4% of Facebook's audience is aged 25 to 34. And when you're looking at what it is that you want to create for your social media and where it is that you want to put it, you want to kind of get into research like this. This was actually a surprising fact that we pulled, that 57% of Facebook's audience is actually male, and that users spend about 34 minutes per day using the platform. Again, why are we talking about the stats? We're talking about the stats because this gives you an idea of when it is you are advertising or posting, how much time people are spending. So how much time are they going to spend with you? Typically, we find videos that have like 3 to 5 second views are the more popular on some of the social sites. So again, it just gives you the opportunity to kind of target your content to what users are doing. Another great point here is that 79.9% of Facebook users only access the platform through their phones. Again, this comes back into our content creation and how it is that we are looking at creating the ads. So, you know, less is more in a lot of cases with social media. So if it's too wordy, people are just going to scroll on by, especially if they're on their phones. And another interesting fact is that 36% of people get their news from Facebook. What does this mean? It means that maybe you want to look at how it is that you can reach your demographic through maybe some of the social news sites. So you would look at like Eyewitness News or ZNS and see if there are advertising opportunities for you there in order to place your business, yes, still on social, but to give you a little bit more reach. When it comes to Instagram, Instagram is the 7th most visited website in the world, but yet it is the 4th most used social platform. I apologize for this, but Instagram's audience is split pretty evenly between males and females. Again, knowing who is on the social platform is going to help you design your content for it. 1 second. And we know that adult Instagram users are on the app nearly 30 minutes a day. Again, this is going to help you as you create your content so that you are creating for the space that you're advertising in or posting in. Now, when it comes to Twitter, Twitter has a lot of interesting stats, but it is not one of the more popular mediums locally. So again, as we look at resources within the small businesses, a lot of times small businesses will choose to use the most hardest hitting social networks, right? So you'd have your Facebook, you would have your Instagram kind of on the top. And then again, we'll talk about TikTok in a minute. But WhatsApp, again, is a great form of using social. But these, when you look at that social media platforms that might not carry a whole lot of bang for the buck and how it is that you are posting, you might want to kind of consider that. One of the interesting facts about Twitter is that 40% of the users reported purchasing something after they see it on Twitter. So again, you have to determine which mediums work for you. You can try a few of them to see where you're getting the most traction. I also found it quite interesting that the CIA reads up to 5 million tweets a day. All right, so I think everybody knows about TikTok by now. TikTok is one of the faster growing sites. It has 1 billion active users per month, and it exceeds 2.5 billion downloads, right? These are stats that are up to date. So if you look at the users for TikTok, again, this is going to help you in designing your content for them. 32.5% of the users, and this is based on a US study, are between the ages of 10 and 19. Although 48% of the individuals between 18 and are between 18 and 29, and 22% of the people are aged between 30 and 49. So this, again, if you look at the average amount of time that users are spending on TikTok, it is actually one of those platforms that have the most usage in terms of time. And again, I thought I'd put this in there. Most TikTok users want the funny and the engaging content. So again, as you are looking at how it is that you're going to be promoting your business, you want to know about which social media platforms are going to be best for you. Typically, you will look at your customer base and you will kind of make your demographic up from that, and assume that that is what it is that you are going to get on your social sites. But again, you might want to expand and get into other markets, other market areas. So again, look at the users, do a little bit of research, and figure out which platforms are best for you. So again, I thought it would be very helpful if we look at the social media trends for 2022. And this information has come from Hootsuite. I do recommend looking up Hootsuite. They have obviously a number of social channels and a website, and they have great articles that will help you as it is that you strategize and design your content. So TikTok will become the most important social networking for marketing, ? And again, we look at the growth of TikTok, what it is doing now, how it is expanding. If you look at this little chart down here in the blue, you will see that it actually surpassed Snapchat and is steadily growing. So something you might want to consider in terms of how it is that you use TikTok to advertise your business. And then, as you can see, the most used are Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and then we have some of those other sites kind of trending a little bit lower. So you will start spending big ad dollars on smaller networks. I don't know about you guys, but I have noticed as we do client boosts, we are really having to get very, very targeted in order to get bang for the buck. I am going to pre-warn you about those smart audiences that typically Facebook will serve you, and Instagram. It is always best to go based on what your target demographics is and put those keywords when you are boosting your ads. Again, very interesting as a trend. Shoppers will expect, not want, expect to buy your products directly on social media. So again, as you are looking at your social media strategies, what you might want to do is consider how it is that you commercialize your products. And so to make that a little bit more helpful, what I did was I put together a to-do list for you. And what you can do is you can set up a Facebook shop or an Instagram shop. You can test out Pinterest. It's not, again, super huge in this market, but again, you might want to give it a try. One of the most important things I think for small businesses is making sure that you don't get really stressed out about putting the whole inventory up there into your shops or promoting, but to take your best sellers and to put them out onto the social networks and test the waters, okay? Again, we all know ads. We know how to boost ads. Is anybody a little bit unclear on how to boost? Because we can go over that as well. Another interesting trend for 2022, no one will want to talk to your brand on the phone. This means that if they are engaging with you on a social platform, they really want to stay there. So it is important that you think about that strategy of how it is that you will be interacting with your customers on the social platforms. A lot of our clients will have a dedicated person who will answer questions, give information to their social media audiences. So it is something that you might want to consider. I would say, especially if you are in the middle of an ad campaign that you are boosting, that would be very, very important. There are also tools that Facebook has that will allow you to actually create answers based on the types of questions that customers will normally ask. And they have a menu, and then the customer can choose what their query is, and then they will get an automated answer. This may help if your human resources are a little low to man the social sites. All right, and if you haven't already, you also can try a chat box to improve the response time. And you can merge your customer service conversations into tools. Again, we talked about Hootsuite, but also Spark Central. And then train your social marketing team in customer support best practices. I cannot stress this enough. In some instances with clients, we actually train a customer service rep to man the social media page because they know all of the protocols. Remember, when you're speaking to somebody through a chat box, it is almost the same as when you are speaking to them on the phone. So all of those protocols need to be used as you deal with your customers through the social media inboxes. Any questions so far, guys? Awesome. Okay, so our predicted trends for 2022 do say that these long form videos are a bust, except if you're placing them on YouTube. Again, very important when you look at how it is that you want to design your content for your sites. I mentioned before that I have found in looking at my analytics that there are 3 to 5 second videos really tend to get the most views and interactions. But if you look at this just ranked by order of view length, anytime you get out of that range of 240 seconds, your viewership and your interaction is just going to drop. There is, again, we look at the amount of time that people are spending on the social networks. If we have the average Facebook user spending 30 minutes watching a long video, might not just be on their list of priorities. However, when people go to the YouTube channel, which is another platform you might want to consider based on your content, based on your business and what it is that you are trying to accomplish, then those users are more likely to watch full-length videos. Just another important note with the YouTube, if you do find that you have a long video and you've created maybe an ad that is maybe a little bit too long for the social sites, look at how it is that you could edit that and break that out into bite-sized pieces so that you can put them on the platforms. Stories from Facebook and Instagram are also a great way to get views. And again, Instagram allows you 15 seconds before it is that you go into, before it creates like kind of a long story. So I always recommend doing it for about 15 seconds, and then Facebook does 30 seconds. So again, if you create content for Facebook and Instagram, I would suggest staying around that 15-second mark. And that's for your stories. When we create something, and again, very important for our content creation, we think, will our customers thank us for this? And basically what Ann Handley is saying is, you don't want your customers just to scroll by and be like, I don't even know why they put this up, I'm not paying attention to it. But you do want your customers to go, this was informative. I like the fact that they have posted this to inform me about the business, or to have a conversation with me, because content is very conversational as well on the social channels. So as we create our content, what are we looking for? Does the content follow the tone and the voice guidelines for your brand? Now, I know in a lot of instances, small to medium businesses, entrepreneurs, and startups don't typically give a lot of thought as to how it is that they want their brand to sound. Is their brand more formal? Is it more friendly? It would behoove you to actually take some time and to look at what it is that your brand attributes are. Is your content broken down into these buckets? Is it educational? Is it inspiring? Is it thought-provoking? And only 20% promotional. So again, something to look at when you put your strategies together. Are you using hashtags where appropriate? I particularly am not a fan of hashtags on Facebook. I believe hashtags should be on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Those are where those hashtags come up. But again, I just find that those hashtags there will pull your content up to who it is that you want to target, and play around with the hashtags. Make it appropriate to what it is that you're posting. So if we are posting about a brand of shoes, hashtag coconut would make no sense. So keep it in line with what it is that you are posting. And again, is your content engaging and suited for your target audience? This goes back to looking at who your target audience is, where they're hanging out on social, and creating pieces with them in mind. And then is the content well written, and is it typo free? That is a super important point. None of us are perfect. Sometimes we'll have a mistake. I always encourage persons to not delete the post unless it's something outrageous, but you can edit it. Always use your editing tools. On mediums like TikTok, though, you really have to be very, very careful, because then you have to redo the entire video. You cannot edit once it is posted. And then another important factor, are you pre-planning your content? And when you pre-plan your content for social media, you get to decide what story you want to tell for that month. What products do you have? What promotions? What business, what part of your business do you want to showcase? So if you're pre-planning your content, then you know exactly what those posts look like, what that story should tell, and you can do this from month to month. Again, I will ask Maite to just put our information into the website. If you do email us, we do have an Excel sheet that we can send out that can assist you with your social media planning. And what it does is it basically outlines all of the mediums that you may want to use. And then sometimes you might want to change the posts in terms of the wording and the content for certain sites. So if you have, let's say you've noticed that you have an older audience on Facebook versus who follow you on Instagram, you might want to change your wording just to relate a little bit more with who it is that is following you and who it is that you do want to attract. And then I thought it would be a great idea to look at some of this content in action. All right, so here we have Amazon and Amazon Alexa, because I love them. And you can see the posts, they're not even branded. They have very simple quotes, and then they have their captions for what it is that they want to say. If you look at just the cleanness of the picture down here by the Amazon Prime Now, and they say what they need to say within their captions of the post. So again, consider that you don't have a lot of time to capture your audience's attention. So you want to say very little in your graphic and maybe a little bit more in your captions. Again, unless it is that you are trying to relay some type of messaging, long captions won't work either. We found that through experience. This I quite liked. Again, it's quirky, it's interesting, it catches the eye. Think about how it is that you want to position your brand or your business. What types of posts are you going to use? And if you are pre-planning your posts and using a social calendar to schedule out what it is that you want to say, you will have the opportunity to kind of get a little bit creative when you look at your visuals. And again, I wasn't able to kind of screenshot and capture this, but I found it very interesting that Doritos was, again, using the TikTok platform to push their products. Again, the ad was funny. We all know Chester Cheetah, but Doritos typically have some very, very good, well-designed ads. Again, they have the budget for it, right? So when you plan your content, you will have the opportunity to use tools, and we'll talk about that in a minute, like TikTok, to create little ads for yourself that can be quirky and funny and really get the message across in a great way. One of the brands that does that really well here is where I have pulled up is Skinistry. And now I have to say, some of their content is a little risque, but they obviously know who their market is, and they do an excellent job promoting themselves on TikTok, using those sounds, creating videos, and pushing their products. So when we look at some of the tools that we can use to create content, one of the tools that we use and that we find just covers the whole gambit is Canva. With Canva, you can get the templates. There is it is a free tool. You can upgrade to the pro if you want to get more access to more templates, more fonts, more sounds, and more photos. But you can upload your own photos into Canva. You can, again, pull from their template, or you can start with a blank page. If you're new at design, I would recommend using some of those templates and then making it your own. But you can start with Canva, learn it. They have tutorials as well, very short tutorials that will allow you to learn how to use it. And you can use this for your social media visuals. They also have the component that will allow you to animate your ads. So you can animate your ads or your posts. They have, if you are looking to do maybe some television, very simple television, they also have video tools in there that you can use. OpenShot Video Editor is something that we use, and it allows us to pull content, let's say, from a Canva from TikTok, and then create short videos with it. It is also a free tool, so you can just look that up and you can download it if you have a need for heavy video in your business. Toonly, we use because it is an animation type software, and it creates cute little videos for some of our clients. Again, this one is not free. It is a cost, but they normally run a special, and it's a lifetime special. So I think when we bought our subscription, maybe about 2 years ago, it was about $99. And of course, again, with Toonly, you can continuously upgrade to get more characters, more scenes, more movement. So if you find that you are heavily using this, you might want to invest in your business by buying those additional packages. TikTok. Now, I am a TikTok freak. I love TikTok. I spend probably more than 54 minutes on it on a daily basis. But again, if you look at what it is that you want to create for, let's say, your stories, or if you don't have an advertising production crew, but you want to do something very simple, look up businesses that are doing it well on TikTok, or businesses that you can learn from, and start creating your videos in TikTok, because then you can translate them over into your other social spaces to create a buzz. You can use them on your WhatsApp statuses. We haven't talked about that, but you can use your WhatsApp statuses as well to promote your business. And TikTok is a great way to create some visuals for yourself. Sendinblue is an e-blast template. So again, data mining, if you have email addresses from clients, if you are looking to get them, then you can always run campaigns on social. And what e-blasts do is they give you an opportunity to actually give a little bit more in-depth information to your clients about your business and your products. So Sendinblue is a free tool. You have a whole lot of creative leeway with it. So you can put in graphics, you can put in links, and you can really get engaged with your e-blast content. And again, they do have that free subscription. As you build your databases, you might want to consider moving to a paid subscription. But again, that really just depends on how many contacts you have and how regularly you want to reach them. Then another tool that we find very useful is our Twisted Wave audio editor. Again, something you can look up on the internet. And let's say you want to do a voiceover and you want it to sound professional. It does give you those tools that you can edit and play around with your sound and your voice. So those are some of the tools that we do use. When it comes to social media scheduling, there are a few things that you can use. So you can use an Excel sheet. And again, we can send one to you, and you can actually just manually put in the various posts when you want to post them. Or you can use sites like Social Pilot, Hootsuite, Buffer, Agora, Pulse. These normally are paid. I'm just going to say that up front. They normally are paid, but they are very time efficient for when it is, or they save a lot of time, I should say, when it is that you want to post across a host of social sites and you don't want to be in the business of consistently posting every day. Word to the wise though, um, make sure you know what it is that you are scheduled to post. There have been instances where some unforeseen circumstance happens. So, in one instance, there was a person that had done all of their scheduling and kind of forgot about it. And there was a major fire and they had a fire sale coming up. So it seemed very insensitive. And that was posted before they realized that they needed to check and see what was on their schedule. Also, Facebook has a publishing tool. Now that is free and that can be linked to Instagram. So you can also schedule your posts through the Facebook pages. When it comes to how it is that your promotions are doing, it is super important that you go into your analytics. All of your social sites will have them once you have set them up as business pages, right? So you will have that on Instagram, you'll have it on Facebook, you will be able to look at analytics on LinkedIn. I know we didn't speak about LinkedIn, but if you do have a professional business or you offer professional services, that is an excellent place to be. And again, you might want to tailor your content for a more professional audience, such as LinkedIn. But when it is that you are promoting, you will get insights from whatever site that or social platform that you're using. Look at those, because once you look at your analytics, sorry, I see Faith DeVoe, you've raised your hand. Come on in, love. No? Okay. So when you look at your insights, they will give you breakdowns of your demographics. If you have video content, you will see how long people are watching your video before they're dropping off. They will give you times, like, so you can look at those times and say, you know what, I posted at 9 a.m., but really I probably should be posting when I'm getting the most engagement, which is at 9 p.m. So I'm going to schedule or I'm going to post around that time so that I automatically up the ante with my promotions or my posts. They give you breakdowns such as age. So you can look then at your age groups and decide then if your content is appropriate for those age groups and who it is. Because sometimes we do get a little surprised when we look at audiences and we say, oh, wow, I thought this was for 13 to 16, but apparently, people who are liking it are between the ages of 20 and 30. So again, it just gives you real good insight into what it is that you are developing and doing on social. And again, I think we spoke about this, how they're interacting with your content. So you'll be able to see that. So if you have, let's say, 3,000 views and only one person has liked it, then you might want to look at what it is you're posting and revisit that. All right. Are there any questions from what it is that we spoke about? I'm going to go to the chat. Oh, Faith said that it's not allowing her to unmute the mic. So what we will do is if you email us at info at my.marketing, I can send you the presentation. Other than that, we do send around the recording of this session to all of the registered participants. So I will send this on to you. It will be done by next week. You will have it in your inbox. Are there any questions from anyone based on this content? Okay. Well, I do want to say thank you so much for spending the evening with us. Again, if you do have any questions that you want answered, if you want to look at how it is that okay, sorry. I'm just looking at my inbox. Wanted to see the slideshow of how Facebook and other sites can regularly share content without you doing it manually. All right, no problem, darling. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to this. So these are some of the sites again that you can use for your social media scheduling. They are paid. So look at the subscriptions. A lot of them will give you trials. So Social Pilot, Hootsuite, Buffer, Agora Pulse, and again, Facebook publishing tool. If you want to publish between Facebook and Instagram, that is also a free tool that you can use. All right, guys, so we're at the end of our presentation. If there are no questions, we will wrap it up. And again, if you do have any questions, please follow us on our social channels. You can also inbox us or email us at info@myinc.marketing. And if you want to see a little bit more about what it is that we do, please visit our website at www.myinc.marketing. My name is Selena, and thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.